ॐ नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. Welcome all. In the previous sessions we have seen the third and fourth chapter of Jnana Yoga, namely Maya and illusion, and Maya and the evolution of the conception of God. Now in this fifth chapter of Jnana Yoga, we will be looking at the chapter which is a lecture delivered by Swami Vivekananda in London again. It's titled Maya and Freedom. Like the chapter Maya and Illusion, this lecture too, Swamiji opens with powerful word picture of the transitoriness, illusoriness of the world and life. And each paragraph, just like the lecture Maya and Illusion, ends with a statement, and this is Maya, and this is Maya. Swamiji, with his tremendous oratory skills and spiritual power, hammers the point that what we see and what we experience is Maya. And he says that senses drag human soul out. For ages we are told that pleasure and happiness in senses is impossible. But we do not learn, and this is Maya. This is also true with the intellectual knowledge, scientific quest, fame, fortune, etc. No matter how deep and penetrative intellectual knowledge may seem, it hits a wall beyond which it cannot go. The sense boundaries and the body boundary cannot be crossed, and that is Maya. Swamiji says, with every breath, with every pulsation of the heart, with every one of our movements, we think we are free, and the very same moment we are shown that we are not. Bound slaves, nature's bond slaves, in body, in mind, in all our thoughts, in all our feelings, and this is Maya. And he says it is a most difficult and intricate state of things to understand. That has been the experience of humanity since ages. We move through the life not knowing who we are, what is our purpose, why do we exist, what is the nature of the world, and somehow we pass the life and then death takes over. So this is the nature of the existence in the limited body-mind complex, and this is Maya. In this connection, Swamiji narrates the story of Narada and his entanglement into Maya. Once Narada wanted to know what Maya is, and the Lord gave him a taste of Maya. Lord asked him to go and bring a glass of water from a nearby village. When he entered the village and he asked for a glass of water from a house, a beautiful girl opened the door, and Narada immediately fell in love with the girl. And in years to come, he married, had a family, and got busy with the family life. Then one day, after 12 years had passed, floods came and everything was taken away from Narada, and he was bewilderedly looking at all around. Then he heard the voice of Lord asking for a glass of water, and then he understood all this is Maya. He forgot the Lord and Lord's work and got entangled into Maya. Then Swamiji says that what is the way out of this? There are two ways are proposed. One is people say that Maya is true, but forget it, enjoy a while. This approach has good motive power and hope in it, but the danger is that in long run it is given up in despair. This is the so-called practical wisdom and is bound to fail always. It makes us hypocrites. Majority of humanity we see understand the transitoriness of the life and the inevitability of the death, but they somehow reconcile and say it's all right, forget about it and enjoy the life and be at the sense level. This is the so-called practical wisdom, but it is nothing less than a hypocrisy, and it does not solve the problem. The second approach is that Maya is true, but there is something beyond Maya. There is God or Self. And taking our stand on that reality, on that God or Self, we can get out and attain true freedom. And this is the path of religion, that is the path of spirituality. It says that, as Swamiji explained in the previous lecture of Maya and the evolution of the conception of God, that there is a reality or God or Self which gives the reality to the individual and the world. And attaining to that is the real freedom. Then Swamiji says that all religions, from lowest type to highest, teach the idea that everything and everybody is advancing towards freedom. And the duty of Vedanta is to harmonize and make common ground for them all. He analyzes how all religions, whether it is of the crudest type or highly intellectual, they somehow or the other are pointing towards this true freedom, a true self or God. And they are in some way trying to tell the soul that there is a state of freedom. In spite of Maya or nature binding us all the time, the inner voice of freedom too continuously beckons us. Then Swamiji says, we are ethical when we follow that voice. The struggles of life and societies is nothing but attempts to rush towards the voice of freedom. So, and with the new attitude of understanding, the world is no longer ghastly Maya, but a movement towards freedom. This is an important point because as the world and the existence into relative plane was explained as Maya, the freedom from Maya is also being pointed out, that this existence into limited body-mind complex can be transcended, and there is a state which transcends this limited identity, and that is the way to freedom. So Swamiji points out here to way to freedom. Then he says that the idea of freedom applied especially to religion makes us understand its evolution and development of concept of Mayadhish. Mayadhish is the controller of Maya, a being who is not under Maya but is in control of it and who is free. And he or she, whether you call that supreme person as a feminine or as a father or a mother, is always attracting us all. And though he is in control of Maya, he is not bound by Maya. Here we can refer to the example given by Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna gives example of a snake. Snake has poison in its mouth, and if snake bites someone, the poison will kill that person. But though the poison is in this mouth of snake, it doesn't affect the snake. Similarly, Mayadhish, the controller of Maya, the Ishvara, though he is in charge of Maya, he is not affected by Maya. And reaching that Ishvara alone can grant us freedom. Then, as Swamiji has traced in the previous lecture, the ideas of humanity evolved from worshipping the divinities, little divinities assigned to a particular role of nature, to slowly evolving into one supreme God who is all-pervading and all-compassionate and omniscient. That is the monotheistic ideas. And then from that stage, Vedanta proper begins, because Vedanta proceeds even higher than the monotheistic ideas. The Mayadhish, the controller of Maya, becomes the principle, not a person, principle, which is inner soul as well as the body, outer world as well as the Mayadhish. And Swamiji says, until you find that freedom was your own nature and this Maya never bound you, nature never has power over you. When this is realized, the hopeless, horrible dream of Maya becomes our beautiful playground. That when this truth or this God or this self is realized, this very existence, this very horrible world itself becomes a playground. And Swamiji further continues, and even dangers and difficulties, even all sufferings, will become deified and show us their real nature, will show us that behind everything, as the substance of everything, He is standing, and that He is the one real self. So, in this lecture, Swamiji points out to the way to freedom. The only way to attain the freedom is to realize that which is the basis of existence of mind and body and of all the names and forms, the basis of time and space itself, whether we call it a supreme spirit, God or self. Without realizing that, there is no freedom from this state of bondage. Otherwise, the transmigration of the soul continues. So, in these 3 lectures, and also starting a second lecture, that is the real nature of man, Swamiji pointed out the way to get out of this bondage. And then the next lecture would be the absolute and manifestation. Om Tat Sat.